All right, take two. Wait, hold on. Give me a second. Oh, I got interrupted halfway through. I didn't want to have to render it. It takes like 4 hours for a 10-minute video, so I'm just going to do it again. There goes one take non-functional fitness. Anyway, gym resolution. It is the 6th of January. Roughly 15 to 20% of people that said I'm going to get fit in the new year have already broken their resolution. But we can get you back. We can bring you back, buddy. I have some tips here, no particular order. And these aren't the only tips. There's just 5 that came to my head first. I probably could have gone to 50, but I don't really want to make a video that's that long. No one's going to watch it anyway. So they figured 5 tips to help you make the most out of your 2020 resolution. Because there's a lot to know. There's a lot to know about getting healthy. It's not just, working out. There's a lot more to it. And saying just working out, that's really doing a disservice to working out. Working out is not only hard, the shit's fucking complicated. Don't get the wrong idea. Don't look at a bodybuilder and go, oh, look at that guy's so fucking dumb. You need to know a lot of shit. It's a different sort of intelligence, but you need to know your shit. So, here's some tips to try and help you know your shit. First up, food. Most important thing you can do. Your body, no matter how hard you work at the gym, can only act and react to what you're putting in it. So if you're not putting the right fuel into your body, no matter how hard you're working, you won't get any results. Your body's like a car. It's like a vehicle. It needs fuel to work. And honestly, I would say if the food is what you're struggling with, food is easy. Food you do at home. Food you do in your own time. If you can't find time to do food, if you can't find motivation to do food, pick a different resolution. Because the getting healthy one is not for you. Because food is so simple. Don't buy into that bullshit that it's expensive. Food is not expensive if you prepare it right. Find yourself some meal plans where you're preparing 8 meals at a time. Yeah, it's boring, but it works out cheap. I just did... What did I do? Let me think about this. 8, 16, 24... I just did 32 meals for $130. That's like $3 a meal. You can't tell me that eating takeaway is cheaper than $3 a meal. And those $3 meals have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the nutrients than that shit that you're getting from KFC or McDonald's does. So, I'm sorry. I don't buy into the excuse of healthy food is too expensive. You just need more knowledge. And that's cool. We all need more knowledge in certain things. I need more knowledge in certain... I still need more knowledge in this gym stuff. We never stop learning. So, best thing you can do is acknowledge that you need more knowledge and go online. Find some food resources. There are free ones out there, or you can pay a little bit of money to get one. I would suggest paying some money to get one. I now, because I paid, have a cookbook full of what's called metabolically precise meals. Breaks it down to when you should be eating them. Eat these before the gym, eat these within 3 hours after the gym because of how the carbohydrates are absorbed into your body. It's very detailed, there's lots of options, and I feel great doing these meals. So, food is definitely the first thing that you can do, and it's an easy one too. Once you stop making excuses, people get very emotionally invested in their food options for some reason. I'm not sure why, but they do. They've been told their entire life that, oh, this is good for you, or this is bad for you. And that's not always the case. So if you read something that challenges your preconceptions about food, don't immediately dismiss it out of that emotional part of the brain. Take it on board, do a little bit more research, or try it. See how you feel. Alright, moving on to the next one. Join a gym. Now, the reason I've used Anytime Fitness here is because I'm a member of Anytime Fitness. Because I am a shift worker. I need a 24/7 gym. And I like the ability of being able to go to gyms, if I'm off at my girlfriend's for the day, there's a close gym. If I'm up in, the big city for the day, or if I'm working somewhere different, there's a place close to work. I can make it work for me. And that's the most important thing about a gym. Make sure it's a gym that works for you. There are different sorts of gyms. There are powerlifting gyms. Don't join a powerlifting gym unless you're interested in being a powerlifter. There are CrossFit gyms. Don't join a CrossFit gym. If there are gyms that do really attract that sort of, that steroid vibe, and if that's not a vibe that you're keen for, stay away from those gyms. Do your research. Pick a gym that's going to work for you, because if the gym works for you, you're more likely to go. Also, having somewhere that you pay money for, having somewhere that you go, it adds an extra level of accountability. So you buy some resistance bands or some dumbbells at home and you're like, okay, I'll train after work, but you put it off. No one knows except you, right? Put it off again. Well, next thing you know, you've put it off for weeks. If you go to a gym, you're paying money, extra level of accountability. You can make it part of your routine. A routine that makes you leave the house is easier to follow that routine than you can do in the house. It's a weird thing with our brains, but anything we do at the house, we have a tendency, our brain can justify not doing it because we spend so much time at our house, we could find time to do it later. So, maybe not all brains, but my brain. If I've got something I need to do around the house, my brain will find a very easy way to justify not doing it because I know I'm going to be in the house tomorrow and I can just do it tomorrow. If you have to leave to do something, the brain has a harder time justifying not doing that. So, okay, we got to go to the gym. And then your brain's like, oh, well, we might not have time to go to the gym tomorrow, or something could happen, and blah, 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 and you end up going. You could be a social person. I'm not, but you could be a social person. You could make friends at the gym. That's another extra level of accountability. The people at the reception of the gym could get to know you, and if you don't go for a few days, could say, oh, hi, Julie, I noticed you didn't come in for the last few days. Is everything okay? That's an extra level of accountability. A gym membership is really key. Very few people can do it by themselves at home. So don't take the risk. Get a gym membership. It's not that expensive. And from what we just covered in food, if you do your food right, you'll be saving a bunch of money on food anyway, so you can put that money towards a gym membership. Next up, attire. This is going to be a weird one, right? Dress appropriately for the gym. And this isn't me saying, oh, cover up your boobies or anything like that. But if you're starting out at the gym, don't go buy like a stringer top, that you've literally got like little pieces of material is all that's covering your body, because odds are you don't have the body to pull that off. And while I don't know anyone at the gym that's going to look at you and go, what the fuck is this guy doing? You might look in the mirror once you get there. You might be standing next to someone who's a lot bigger than you in the right way, and you might go, what the fuck am I wearing? Like, what am I doing? And that can cause you to get, anxious, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of body negativity, and end up not going back because you think you've embarrassed yourself in front of all these people. So you might just be like, okay, I'm not going back. I made the wrong choice, and now everyone thinks I'm an idiot. They probably don't. To be honest, they probably didn't even notice you, and we will get into that later. But just, if you're starting out, wear a t-shirt, wear some tracksuit pants, throw a jumper on. Like, generally, when people have these New Year's resolutions of, I want to get fit, it's generally all about, I want to lose some weight, or I want to put on a lot of weight, which means you're not happy with how you are now. So you're going to be going to a place where there's a lot of people. You're going to be going to a place where there's a lot of mirrors. Don't add fuel to that little voice in your head saying, I don't belong to be here. So just don't go straight for the activewear. Activewear's great. I fucking love activewear. Like, this is a Batman activewear top. It's sick. And this is the sort of thing that's perfect, my arms are covered for the most part. I'm not showing off my midsection or anything like this. You can wear fun activewear that, like, doesn't make you feel, body conscious. So go for that if you want to get yourself some nice expensive activewear and stuff like that. Don't go for stuff that's going to let that little devil in your mind, work you up until the point that you don't come back. That's a weird one, the activewear, because you never want to say like you don't have the body to wear that, because you can wear whatever you want. But like at the end of the day, let's be honest, our brain does fuck with us. If we give it the opportunity to, our brain will mess with us every time. So just keep that in mind. Next up, I said we'd get to it. Mirrors. Have you ever noticed when you go to the gym, mirrors are everywhere? Mirrors are everywhere because people at the gym like to look at themselves. Whether it's to see if the right body part is contracting, or whether it's to see if they've got any imbalances anywhere, whether it's just to see how much they've grown in the last 6 months or how good their pump is. People in the gym generally looking at themselves. They're not looking at you. So get that out of your head right now. That whole, I don't want to go to the gym because people are going to look at me. They're not. They're probably not. It's just, at that time in the gym, people are more focused on themselves. And there are always exceptions to the rule. Like, when I go to a place, I'm 10 years law enforcement now. When I go to a place, I look at everyone. For a second, and discreetly, I just want to know who's around me. It's just a thing that you get used to doing when you potentially walk into dangerous situations every day. You want to know the room, assess the room. But I'm not looking at you and being like, what's this guy doing here? It's nothing like that. So go to the gym, do your own thing. Don't look at other people. Because when you look at other people, then you start thinking, oh, maybe people are looking at me like I'm looking at other people. And then again, that devil in your brain starts working. Don't look at other people, because other people aren't looking at you. Also, try not to pose too much in the mirror. You look like a fuckwit when you do this. And last but not least, get a personal trainer. Now, I'm not a personal trainer, so this is not me trying to shill, for my work area. I just said I work in law enforcement. I'm not a personal trainer, but I spent the large portion of my training history without a trainer. And I got results. There's no denying it. I got results. I had some setbacks due to some things that happened in my personal life, but I got good results by myself. I turned myself from a skinny fat guy into a guy that, is bigger than, most of the general walking around population. When you put me in the gym, yeah, cool, normal guy. When you take me out of the gym, oh, that's a big guy. So I did that by myself. You can get results by yourself. But I spent the end of last year training with a personal trainer for the first time. Dude, the things he taught me about food, about form, about just like different muscle groups and stuff that I never knew. All I can think of now is how much time I wasted training without that knowledge. So now that he's given me that knowledge, I feel like I'm in a lot better place to build upon myself. Once again, I don't feel like I'm not going to plateau because I know more now. So if you can afford it, start with a personal trainer. On my Twitter just today, I saw a guy in the gym. He was clearly a New Year's resolutioner, and he was bench pressing, but all of his presses were like this. And a trainer can fix that. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at him like, fuck, do I tell him? And I just said, I know that I just said that people aren't looking at you, but I just noticed this out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, fuck, I don't want this guy to hurt himself. Do I tell him? I decided not to tell him, because it's sort of antisocial to do it. I don't want him to know that I noticed him doing the wrong thing at the gym. I don't want to be the reason he doesn't come back. But then you've also got that catch-22. I also don't want to be the reason that he gets injured by not telling him. So it's like, I had to weigh that up, but get yourself a trainer. The internet can only teach you so much. You can only, watching a video can show you how to do it, but you can't really see how you're doing it. You can take a video of yourself to see if you're doing it right, but that video is not going to be able to walk around you and get different angles like a personal trainer will. So my advice would be, if you have the money, get yourself a personal trainer. If you don't have the money, find the money. If you can't find the money, I don't know, maybe you have a friend who's been lifting for a while, which is better than nothing, but again, that friend isn't incentivized to watch your stuff closely, to help you progress each week. They might be a really great guy and do it, but there's no incentive there. It's much easier to get someone to show you everything you need to do and really be invested in doing that if you're paying them money. So, that was 5 gym tips to help you out with your New Year's resolution. If you have any questions, throw them down there. If you want to keep track of our 40 pounds in 40 weeks, we've got to weigh in 2 days. So, make sure you hit follow and all that other shit. And there'll be be a couple of videos there. If you haven't seen them, you can click on them and see them.